Then I rebuilt the car up from there. And then Chloe and I actually took it on our honeymoon, and we did. Highly recommend the drive. It's called the Lake Michigan Tour. All the Great Lakes have it, but it's circumnavigating as close as you can to the lake, driving around the loop. So we did it for the week of our honeymoon, and it was just super cool. Like, took the Porsche. It was the middle of the summer. Or early summer. There's no air conditioning in it. It was way too hot, but it was just fun. We had Just Married like painted on the back.
Yeah.
And we just got really cool. A lot of people honking at us because it was like these two kids in this like 80s sports car ripping around.
Right.
And Chicago was the most fun because I timed that day so wrong, and we got stuck in so much traffic. But we were like completely stopped in traffic, and so many people, like all of a sudden you'd hear honking, and you thought it was just like traffic stuff.
Right.
And then like we'd like turn or whatever, and people were like, "Hey, congratulations!" And then like somebody in the next car over like poked their head out. They're like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "These people just got married." And they're like, "Oh,
Somebody's getting out of their car.
It's so funny. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. This is episode 11 of the Third Pedal Podcast. That was freaking funny too.
Hi, don't worry, nothing bad's happening.
Yeah, so for this Valentine's Day, we wanted to just kind of talk about, like, we've both married awesome women who not only support our car addictions but encourage it and see that like it gives us a lot of joy. So they're really passionate about making sure we keep pursuing
and encourage it, tolerate it at some point.
Right? Yeah, just everything of supporting it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we just thought we'd share kind of a couple cool stories from how our cars have intersected with like our relationship with them over the past. And then also Valentine's Day is Dad's birthday. So happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday.
So we wanted to share kind of a couple memories that we've had over the years too, of just how he's been so special and influential, especially with the automotive stuff in our life. He's been supportive and helpful with a myriad of other things as well, but specifically with cars, we got a couple cool stories to share.
Yep.
So I don't know. I guess I can go first on the Porsche and stuff and kind of go from there. So when Chloe and I were dating, we were long distance. Other people have been longer distance than us, but it was like 2 hours and 15 minutes between us. And I had the Porsche at that time. That was my only car. So a lot of our dating relationship was either riding together in the Porsche to one house or the other, or like we'd always meet like 5 a.m. we'd leave and we'd meet, halfway somewhere and exchange cars and go back to one or the other's family's house and kind of hang out from there. But
got a lot of seat time in that car.
Oh yeah, just a lot. And it was just cool because we'd have a lot of like, like the perfect scenario when you're cruising in a car and it's cold outside, you have the windows cracked a little bit and you have the heat on and like you're wearing a hoodie or something and just feel, I don't know, it just feels really cool. It's night, you see the stars and everything. And like where we were driving in Wisconsin, at least when we used to meet up over by Beaver Dam, which we stopped, but I'll tell that story in a minute. But when we used to go that way, it was a lot less populated, so you see stars and stuff. It's just super pretty. But we just had a lot of really good talking time while we were cruising in that car, because it was just a lot. You had tons of time while you're driving, so really, I felt like I really got to know her during that. But yeah, we fell in love with each other like as we drove that car, so that car is just kind of like meshed into it.
Yeah, you can never sell it now.
Yeah, we can't.
Relationship would be over.
It's all right on that. I think the ring is what's up now. But we used to drive that way. So I would drive out. Usually we'd meet halfway, but other times like I would drive all the way to her house and then drive back. So like this one particular night, like I was at her house, I think it was just before midnight, something like that. And then I left from her house to make the trek home then. So I'd be home at like 2 or something in the morning. And like you're like usually by people on this drive. And then there's like a 40-minute stretch between like Beaver Dam and Fond du Lac where you're nowhere, like you're just in the middle of the country. And of course, driving and my timing belt goes in the Porsche. And so then I pull off the side
and
of
that's
the road
like a dead zone too, not just with cars, but like cell phone.
Yeah, nothing.
At that time. And then we all lived at home at that point too.
Well, and we decided to switch to a nice little network called T-Mobile that time.
Which doesn't exist anymore, right? So we can... it exists. Sprint's the one that doesn't exist anymore.
Sprint. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think they're better now.
But we got their colors up.
I know. So if you want to reach out to us for, but no, I
don't think they're going to sponsor the podcast after they comment.
But yeah, long story short, I was stuck there for a while. But there was like then I rebuilt the car up from there, and then Chloe and I actually took it on our honeymoon, and we did. Highly recommend the drive. It's called the Lake Michigan Tour. All the Great Lakes have it, but it's circumnavigating as close as you can to the lake, driving around the loop. So we did it for the week of our honeymoon, and it was just super cool. Like took the Porsche. It was the middle of the summer. Early summer. There's no air conditioning in it. It was way too hot, but it was just fun. We had Just Married like painted on the back.
Yeah.
And we just got really cool, a lot of people honking at us because it was like these two kids in this like 80s sports car ripping around.
Right.
And Chicago was the most fun because I timed that day so wrong and we got stuck in so much traffic. But we were like completely stopped in traffic. And so many people, like all of a sudden you'd hear honking and you thought it was just like traffic stuff.
Right.
And then like we'd like turn or whatever. And people were like, hey, congratulations. And then like somebody in the next car over like poked their head out. They're like, what's going on? And they're like, these people just got married. And they're like, oh,
everybody's getting out of their car.
It was so funny. Like everybody was doing that, but
yeah,
it was just awesome. Really cool. So we just had a lot of really special memories in that. Like we drove in that car. Like when Pudgy, our dog that we had together when we first were married, like when she was not doing great, like we went on like the last drive with her when we had to put her down when she had cancer was in that car. And then we went on like a drive out in the country in it just to like clear our minds. And but now it's funny because like she loves the car so much. It smells so bad driving it because it smells like burnt oil all the time. Like you smell like that car when you're done. But yeah, we're both like that car will never ever be sold. Like we'll always have that thing. But it just was like a cool, not that it was the core of our relationship, but so much of our early relationship and like we had a picnic in the hatch one time. Like we didn't have anywhere to go. Awesome. So we like got some food and like popped the hatch open and sat back there and had a picnic and had like Martinelli's or whatever with it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, it was central to a lot of those
There's
things.
so much like life that happens in cars, right?
Yeah.
There's so much, especially like that. Yeah. So my situation with the Datsun was very similar.
Yeah.
So Jess and I first met, actually, funny thing is, so we met, whatever it was, June 6th was the exact date at 11:54 p.m. And I know the coordinates too. No,
but we'll post those in the comments.
Yeah. So we met June 6th, and then I bought the Datsun the day after.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how that worked out?
I might have bought it the day of the wedding that we met at. We met at a friend's wedding. I might have bought it that day. Because I have pictures of like the next day or the week following. Yeah. When I was out there with my friends. Yeah. And we're all shirtless, trying to get tan.
That picture? Yeah.
Scraping all the old, which no idea how to refinish cars. Right? We're using like plaster knives to like scrape the old paint off of it. Yes. A miracle I ever sold that car. But
and now there's cool plans with that car.
Oh gosh, I know.
It'd be cool to feature it at some point. Yeah, like once it's done. But
yeah, we'll have to. I talked to him about that. I kept up with the owner, which is really cool. Yeah. And he supports podcasts. Listen to the podcast. So what's up, man? Can't wait to see that car.
He does. That's awesome. Yeah, we'd love to have the car on this episode. It'd be cool to have a whole episode about the ones that got away and do that, and then I could try to find the guy who has my S6. Yeah, who told me like, I'd sell it to you, but it's $30,000 now. I'm like, what? Right. But that'd be sweet.
Well, this one didn't have a price. It's too nice now.
Oh yeah.
So, anyways,
it's if you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Okay, Fast and Furious. We'll have to do part of the video series too, like a vlog about
that'd be really
going
cool.
to visit those cars and driving them again and stuff like that. But anyways, sorry. So that car, start me in the car, and me and my wife started the relationship about the same time, which is pretty cool.
That's really neat. I didn't realize that.
So I've told a lot of stories about that car, I feel like, in the past on the podcast, and how it didn't run well. It started when it felt like starting. Yeah. And one of the probably like most annoying things besides not starting in winter, like that's not cool. Because even like roll starting it, you don't have a lot of the traction and stuff, right? To get the wheels spinning and everything.
Dump the clutch.
So it just slides. So but the heater would work when it felt like it.
Oh, perfect.
Too. So the defroster would almost never work. Oh, so like some of our earliest dates, like our first dates, we would be driving somewhere in the Datsun, and I always kept a rag on the front. So I should just be inside as the windshield wiper, like making sure we could see so we didn't crash and die.
And that's when you knew she was the one.
Yep. I was like, all right, she's sticking with me through this, and we'll be all right. So that was like tons and tons of our first dates.
Awesome.
Doing that thing. We went out to Road America with it, and with some cool pictures out there and like
that's awesome.
Downtown and stuff like that. So
that's cool.
Just tons of unfortunately did not drive that away from the wedding, but it was still involved. I actually sold it right around the time I bought the engagement ring to help pay for that.
Really?
So that was right when I sold it. Yeah.
Oh, that's really special.
It was that winter.
That's cool.
So yeah,
that's cool. Really neat.
A lot of fun stuff with that.
Yeah. So then kind of bouncing off of that, like because it's Dad's birthday today too. Like growing up, it was always like Dad. I thought Dad always did an awesome job of like celebrating, like making Mom feel special for Valentine's Day, all that, taking the focus off of him, even though it's his birthday. But then we'd always, I don't know why I have like a very specific memory of one of his birthdays in the Oosberg house when we like I don't remember. We all made him stuff. I think we all like went in their bedroom and like gave him breakfast in bed and hung out. I don't know why I remember that birthday a lot, but yeah, like car memories with him, specifically because he's the one, like he's the reason why we're interested in cars at all. Like we probably, I don't know
Which
if
you probably
we would
got
be.
From, what was that, episode 6 or 7? We had him on the first time. We talked about me sliding down the front of his Porsche with my sandy wet pants, giving it a nice buff job. Like all the other. All the other crazy stuff we did. Yeah.
And like all the cars he's had throughout the years of like just kind of trading and kind of doing what we do. Just like, oh, there's an opportunity. I'll trade and sell and stuff like that. But yeah, we wanted to just share a couple of, for you, Dad, like a couple of our favorite things that you've always done. So I'll go first and then you have some cool stuff to share too. But I guess one of my favorite things, it's kind of for all of us, like Dad's always been super willing to help with our car projects. Like it was never like, oh, you signed up for this, like figure it out. Like he'd always like way too many hours, especially when we lived at home, so many hours of just laying underneath cars, working with us while we're getting like frustrated out of our freaking mind on stuff. Like we're busting a knuckle for like the 4th time. He's like, yep, happens. And like always just guiding us through, like teaching us everything. So like he taught us everything that we know, but he would always be willing. Like I remember constantly, I felt like I was always asking him, like, are you sure you want to work on this tonight? Like, do you not? I know you've got stuff going on. He's like, no, we're going to work on it. And he'd always do that like super late night projects. And then like something he always did with me with, like we had to replace the Porsche transmission like in the middle of the winter, and we had to replace like a lot of stuff like that. There was huge projects while like he's working and I'm working and going to college and doing all this stuff. And so he'd always, no matter what time we finish the project's not finished until you get in the car and you go drive the car to McDonald's to go get a burger. Because if you don't get a burger and test the car, it's not fixed yet. So it was always like the sweetest memory of like, I remember when we put the transmission in the Porsche, after the other one like lost bearings and stuff, it was a limited slip that we put in, and so we went out and we like tested it around a couple roundabouts, and we went and got like quarter pounders and then brought them back, and I like took a picture of the
and that was like middle of the night too, because I remember like coming and visiting while you guys were working on it, and it was like midnight, and then like, oh, I'm going home.
That was like 4 a.m. like it was so it was nuts. But like the I think you're thinking of the clutch when we did that at Viking. We did that out there. Is that what you're thinking of?
Maybe. I remember they had a forklift and I was doing pull-ups on it because I was
that was probably
that was cool
there. But like we did that like even recently when he was working at Viking. I think this was before they moved down here. I think it was when he was driving back and forth. We had to do the rust repair on the Jeep, and we did like an all-nighter to finish it. So like the guy there like had welded the new like the fix-it panels or whatever to the frame, and I had like the final assembly that I had to do. So I had to put the rest of the lift kit on. I had to like button everything up and then drive the thing out of there. And he stayed with me. We went there at like 7 at night, and we literally were there till in the morning when Rich, the guy who shows up, awesome guy who works there, he showed up at like 4 or 5 or whatever to like come in and start his day, and he brought us coffee. He's like, oh my gosh, you guys still here? Or he's like, what time did you guys show up? We're like, no, we're still here from yesterday. He's like, what?
No, we never left.
Dad did that with me, and that like he did that all through the night. We went out and got McDonald's after that, and like ate some food, and I drove home, and I think he drove home from there. But yeah, he's never been one to like I don't know. I hope I like try to model that for like, man, when I have kids someday, like I hope I have that level of patience of like, whatever, I had a hard day, deal with whatever I dealt with my bosses and stuff. And then come home and my kid's like, hey, I want to do brakes on my car. Like,
or like some stupid idea you always support.
Oh like, yeah. He never shot down
think about that. Is that a smart thing to do? You know, it's never like, because you know, he's talked about it before. He came from like muscle cars, right? All the cool stuff that used to be.
Yeah, and none of us have had muscle cars.
I don't know. Sorry, but like, no matter what it was, I was like, I want to plaster up the rims on my Datsun. He's like, cool. Well, this is what you got to do to prep it. Blah, blah. You know, it always helped out. It wasn't like, you stupid. It seems like a lot of the older timers, whatever muscle car guys are always like, you stupid kids in your European cars and tuners and blah, blah, blah. It was always super supportive.
Yeah. And never like, any just let crazy me do it. Like he was always just, no, you got to do that.
Like the meme of like the holding the flashlight. Like that never was really happened.
If anything, you'd be sitting there and you're like, I don't think I can get to that bolt. He's like, you just need another universal joint. Like, go find it. Like, you just be like, no, this is just what it is. Like, I don't know, just so much time with him doing that. Like, never lost school with us ever doing any of that stuff. Even when like when he's working on
like
things.
You said, like we did.
Yeah. Oh, dude, we'd be like,
he's like,
I busted too bad attitude.
I busted way too many knuckles on way cooler cars to have a problem with the transmission on an old Datsun or whatever.
Yeah.
But dude, working on that. So that was the big. Oh, unless did you have more to say?
No, that was pretty good. No, it's just that thing of like the fact that he always Like he would always do that with us, and he still would. Like still right now. Thanks, Miley.
Just a little tail.
She's like, I just want to be in a Valentine's episode.
We love you too.
Like just no matter what, he would always be there to like help us work through and like right now, if your Audi, whatever, if you exploded a drive shaft in it or something, and you're like, hey, I gotta work on this, I need help. He'd be like, sweet, when do you want me up there? Like he would do that in a heartbeat. But I really appreciate that about Dad.
Totally.
Anyway,
yeah, and I remember the transmission on the Datsun. What did we have? Oh, it was just the clutch. The clutch went out on it.
That's right.
And we did the clutch, and just like he's an engineer, so the ingenuity of I don't know if that's the right word. Ingenuity of
I think it is.
Like we didn't have a lift, right?
Yeah.
It was jack stands and that ancient blue, which is still alive, car jack,
older than all of us.
Like the most. I want to buy. I'll buy anything from whatever company makes that, because that thing's like forever old, and I would still trust going under it. I would put jack stands still. Yeah. But I would still trust going under that 100%, jacking up a car with 100%.
That. I don't think there's a weight limit that thing can lift either. We've lifted so much stuff on it.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah.
It actually used to move houses back in the day. Just lifted.
They used to get on the truck.
Yeah, you know. So anyways, we did the Datsun transmission, and just like jacking up the car in the right way, like from the side, to like be able to, because we didn't pull the engine, to be able to take off the transmission, and like get it on. I forgot what he got it on. It might have been a skateboard. I can't remember. It was something
to be able to. Thing?
Yes, that's what it was.
That what it was?
Down onto the crawler to be able to like, and it like got out by like millimeters.
Yeah. Dude,
whatever
I don't know how he always he did that all the time. I don't understand. We
just
did
like
that
perfectly out of there.
Yeah, when I had to do my oil pan, because before we did the honeymoon trip, I was having a really bad oil leak, so I had to do oil pan, motor mounts, everything like that in the Porsche, and we didn't have an engine hoist, and I didn't really want to buy one because I was poor or whatever, and like. So I didn't know what I was going to do with that. And he was like, oh, well, we could just, so we ended up we like ratchet strapped the engine to a piece of wood that if you wound it up twice would lift it out of the way enough to get everything out. It's like, that's what we did. So we just wound it, and then he did one more strap to like hold tension. And he's like, there, we're fine. That's all. I'm like, this isn't going to fall and kill me. He's like, no, it's good. And he like explained the physics of it. But it was just nuts. Like he was always able to like, we don't have the tool for that. Like, well, I'll just make a better one.
Right.
Figured out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I had another story that was coming to mind, and
I'm sorry.
I told no, that's fine. I was just focusing on that, and now it's like complete. And Miley's over. I don't know if that comes with it. She's over here playing with her toy.
Yeah, she's just losing it.
Totally lost it. Well, one of my favorite memories is something that Dad always did was he would always make. And I don't know if this was just 16th birthdays. It seemed like
I think it started there,
there's
and then
three of us, so it seems like it happened a lot.
Yeah.
He would always get like borrow a special car from a dealership for our birthdays. Yeah. So I remember my 16th birthday was Mustang convertible.
Yep.
And I think I don't know if I had my temps or my license yet at that point. I don't remember. I remember I drove it.
That's awesome.
But yeah, just like, and it was always, it was never like, excuse me. It was never like, oh, do you want something cool? Right. Whatever. It was just like, it was go outside in the morning, and then there's a sweet car.
Right. Like he already thought about it and organized it. Like, same. He had a SRT8 Challenger for mine, I think. Yeah. And like, it was just, hey, go outside, check it out. And it was like, what? And like, it was super cool. And then we'd hop in and go terrace around for it and stuff.
And then should we talk about the craziest one? Tyler's not here.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think we can tell that one.
For his, it was, I don't know what kind of Viper. So it's Dodge Viper.
Yeah. I think it was just like a GTS coupe. Yeah. I think it was one of those.
Yep. But manual, dude, that thing was insane.
I think to date that might be the scariest car I've ever ridden in. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it definitely is the fastest, I think.
And realistically, we were a lot more dangerous with the Porsche and the Datsun back at home that one night, driving super fast.
Oh my gosh.
But,
from Best Buy. No, I think actual speed, not like what we did was sketchy with him, but like getting in that car and leaving the neighborhood was
just fast, just a different feeling. Yeah. But yeah, that was something that just always made those times super special. And then for my wedding too, he got us, I was super into Challengers.
That's right.
Around that time.
That's right. You like wanted to buy one around
like
that, didn't you?
Dream car was like 2016 or newer, because it was 2017 when we got married. Challenger RT. Yep. With the 6-speed.
Yep.
So guess what we had for our wedding?
That's awesome.
It's like 2016, 2017, whatever year it was.
Yeah.
Challenger RT with the manual. Yep. And I think he brought it the day before. I'm trying to think, because I know that the day of our wedding, there was just a lot of stuff, of stuff going on, like it is weddings. And
it was the day before, wasn't it?
It must have been the day before, because like I got a lot of drive time with it. That was the cool thing.
Yeah.
And at that time where I lived, I had like I think we all have this too. This is like side note, and this is probably something we got from him too. But like wherever you live, you have like that track.
Yeah.
You have a test track.
Oh, I bet we did get that from him. Yeah.
We all have the loop. Because I'm sure he took us on that in Sheboygan.
Yeah.
That loop. I'm sure that's where we learned it from. Or maybe in Oostburg or whatever. He had a track that he would take us on.
That's so funny. I bet you're right.
Like everywhere. I'm sure you guys watching, like if you think about like whenever you get a new car, a new mod, like what's that like go-to route?
Yeah, we should explain that too. Yeah, it's just that it's whatever that is. That close to your house, something you can. It usually involves at least one road that's 45 plus miles per hour.
Yeah,
but just something that, or you make it 45 plus per hour.
But like, or you make it faster than that. But yeah, it's just like whenever you do, whatever you fixed it. That's like the track you do, and then you go get a burger, right? Like then you celebrate.
Yeah, you make sure the knocking sound's gone, and then you're like, all right, cool.
So it was cool because I had it the day before, so like got to like take a little bit of time off and forget about the stresses. You know, I mean, I didn't really do a lot of planning, I don't think, for the wedding, but all of that stuff going on, and just go for a drive. Got to take it on that track. It was just so much fun.
That's awesome.
And then we got to leave our ceremony in that too. Yeah, and then so with cars, I know you talked about leaving your wedding with the Porsche and everything too. So then we did that, and then from the reception, I had the Audi at that time too. So we got to leave with that, and that I think you painted it all up,
all the decorations,
painted all up, and the streamers and stuff, and then we had like I think a 45-minute or whatever drive. For that, but that's awesome. Just so much fun. Yeah,
it's very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, Dad's always done a great job of making that stuff super special for us.
Yeah,
but yeah, so whatever. You know, whether some people, I know like around Valentine's Day, I feel like car people, there's a lot of jokes going around about like, here's my Valentine. And it's like,
it's a car.
Or it's I got a gift for my Valentine.
The turbo.
Yeah. But yeah, however you're celebrating Valentine's Day, make some memories. Cars are cool. Cars are special. They're more than, you know, for most people, I can't remember if it was just now or the last week episode, but we were talking about like it's a lot more about the point A to point B thing. It's like everything in between. Oh, was it earlier in this one? I think we were talking about that.
Maybe
like that part's valuable, like the time you spend in the car. And but that's why we're always, you know, upgrading stuff and tweaking it, whatever, to get the most out of that experience. But yeah. So thank you for listening this week. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy birthday, Dad.
And
happy
birthday, Dad. Huge shout out to you for everything you've given us for our crazy passion for cars, and then huge thanks to my wife. I'm sure you say the same thing.
Huge thanks to Chloe for putting
supporting our crazy car obsession, addiction, habit, whatever you want to call it.
All of the above,
and supporting / tolerating a lot of times. I know sometimes maybe it doesn't make sense. Cars mean a little bit more to us than some people, I think.
How often is it like I'll just be in the car and she's like, what are you thinking about? And I'll just be like, oh, I was thinking about like how 2-piston calipers. It's really interesting because like single piston and she'll like sit. She's never like, shut up. Like she'll sit and listen. She's like, oh, it's super interesting. Like, like she's genuinely interested in like, she always tells me like cars are like working in the garage is like my thing. If I've had like a rough day at work, if I've had like rough stuff going on, like there's other things I'll like get me solitude and like make me happy, but it's usually that's the thing is she'll be like, hey, like it's a sacrifice for her, she wants to spend time with me, but she's like, hey,
go wrench on something.
Go wrench on something. Huge way that she loves me that way. But yeah, super appreciative of her.
So we're gonna know if you have a really rough year, you're gonna be like, yeah, the Subaru's 1,000 horsepower now, and be like,
how's work? Sucks. Porsche is done. But anyway, I love you, Chloe. Happy Valentine's Day.
Love you, Jess. Happy Valentine's Day.
And happy birthday, Pops.
Happy birthday.
See you next week.